There's been a massive growth in long and extended long-range shooting, and one of the companies that has done exceptionally well here is Athlon, in particular with their Midas TAC line of scopes competing in the popular $500 to $800 price point. In this video, we're looking at one of the best-selling scopes at that price point, the Midas TAC 6-24x50 front focal plane rifle scope. What's up everybody, welcome Squad and welcome to Slav Guns. I'm glad to have you here, as always. Over the last decade, we've seen a massive growth in the number of long and extended long-range shooters, as first-timers are able to get into the sport at previously unheard of prices. More importantly, they're able to participate and not be held back at those price points. Just as we saw a drastic decrease in the cost of rifles capable of shooting sub-MOA, we've also seen the decrease in the cost of optics that allow you to get out to 1,000 yards and beyond. One of the most popular optics in that entry-level $500 to $800 price point is this scope, the Midas TAC 6-24x50 front focal plane reticle rifle scope by Athlon. Now, I do realize that some people might scoff at the idea of $500 to $800 being entry level, but keep in mind traditionally, you would have to spend at least $800 to $1,000 to get that capability. The reason why you need to spend at least $500 or so is to get optics that are clear enough to actually see the target at 1,000 yards, enough internal adjustment to get out to those ranges, and a front focal plane reticle, which will dramatically help you make adjustments for your misses. Now, in full disclosure, I did not purchase or request the scope, and it rather fell on my lap as I was able to borrow this from my friend Alex from Affordable Optics and Rifle Reviews, and you can find his channel linked in the description below. Following our new format, in this video we're going to open up the box for the very first time and I'll give you my first impressions, and yes, this is the first time I'm opening up the box to give you my most authentic impressions. In a separate video, we'll do a complete review of this optic, including a detailed breakdown of the features, the shooting footage, and my impressions from the range, and then the bottom line. This way, I can also integrate any questions you might have into the final video. So if you have those questions, leave them in the comments below, or join us for the live stream immediately after the video premiere and we can ask them there. For this video, if you want to skip to a particular section, there's a timeline in the description below, along with links to where you can find more information on the scope and where to find it. So let's get into it. All right, we're opening it up for the first time, and inside we have a scope. Fairly straight into the point packaging. Okay. Scope. We have an Allen key with, looks like 3 additional screws for the zero stop. We have a lens cleaning cloth. And we have a manual. And this is actually a pretty cool manual, and the reason why I say that is not that there's like a lot of warnings and stuff, but rather, first of all, you have a manual that shows you how to use the zero stop, how to zero the scope, and more importantly for me is it gives you a reticle printout, so you can actually see what the holdovers and what each hash mark represents. So do take a look at the manual, it'll often address many of the questions. All right, so let's take a look. So this is a 30mm scope. We have a silica packet. Very nice smooth finish, similar to a lot of the other Athlon optics that you're going to get. Everything looks well made. There doesn't look to be any defects from the outside. All right. So let's start on the back and we'll work our way forward. So you do have a fast focus eyepiece. Smooth, no issues. You do get nice texturing on here to get grip on it. And it's actually really nice balance, so it's still grippy enough, but it's not super aggressive or sharp. And we just recently did a video on the Athlon Cronus, and that one is like much sharper. This works. It's functional, smooth, consistent. Like I said, these do not have a locking ring, but as you can see, unless you're twisting it, you can't really press it in. So, it works well. Okay, so magnification, this is a 4-time erector from 6 to 24. You do have this little adjustment fin that'll help you. Super smooth. Almost like a tiny little bit of a drag, but for the price point, it's really good. It's not super stiff. It's probably a little bit on the lighter side, but you definitely don't need a throw lever on here. The fin is going to be good, but it's good. It's nice and smooth. Okay, so next we have the parallax. So the parallax is down from 10 yards, which is actually really surprising, because most other scopes, especially at this price point, are going to be at least 25. So having it go down to as low as 10 yards is going to be good for air guns. It's going to be good for rimfire stuff. Super smooth, and it goes out to infinity. There's a pretty quick jump from 500 to infinity. But once again, so the knob is a little bit on a smaller side, but it's super smooth, no stiffness, very nice. Very nice. All right, so let's look at the turret. So we have the elevation turret first, and you have, what's nice is actually it'll give you up and down direction bars on here. This is a MIL. We have 10 mils of rotation per 10 mils of 10 mils of elevation adjustment per rotation of the dial. Ooh, very nice. Tactile, audible. It's not super precise, but so it's actually, it seems like it's more precise coming down rather than going up. And you can actually hear it when it goes down. It hits the 0 stop. Very nice. Fairly impressive for the price point. Not bad. All right. So the elevation adjustment on here is capped. I'm sorry, the windage adjustment on here is capped. So if it is capped, hold over. Smooth. Fairly accurate. Tactile. Audible, and there's no wiggle between the detents whatsoever. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. Culinary impressed. Okay. Let's take a look at the reticle. Reticle looks pretty good. So I'll put it up here. So you have 2, 4, 8. You have 10 mils of stadia lines for elevation holdover, but they have numbers only for 2, 4, 6, 8, and not 10. So that would irritate me just a little. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely space to put 10 on there. Okay. And so for the Midas TAC, there is no illumination on this reticle. So if you're looking for illumination, you'll have to go elsewhere, but I don't see why you need illumination on here. Generally, illumination is only going to be if you're shooting very at dusk or dawn. Or so if you're shooting against a big dark target, and let's say it's a black target and bigger than the holdovers and the reticles, then if you want to get more precision, then yes, turn illumination on, that would help. But otherwise, I generally don't use illumination on my reticles. Cool. All right. And you do have it made in China. They don't try to hide it or put it in a very dark print on the scope. So this scope definitely comes with Athlon's lifetime warranty. So if there's any issues, they will make sure to take care of it. And from what I've seen, whether you're on social media or you contact them directly, they do a really good job of trying to answer the questions and coming back to you to helping you out. This is a very cool scope. I mean, it's exceeded my expectations for what I think we can get out of this. And I look forward to throwing it on the gun. We'll get some shooting footage out of it. And I definitely think it would be good to add onto a gun that's going to be in the $400 to $500 price point, even possibly because with a smaller form factor, if you have an AR that you want to go into longer range shooting, this will work fairly well with it. Weight on here feels pretty good, so it's almost like just, there's no specs on here, but weight, probably guess like low 30, high 20s. And so it's decent size. It's not super heavy, it's not super light, but very cool. So like I said, we'll throw it on the gun. We'll go out to the range in the next video, and I'll give you, definitely by that point we'll have the shooting impressions, we'll have more time with the reticle, we'll do a tracking test on it, and I'll do as much as I can before I have to return the scope to my friend Alex at Affordable Optics and Rifle Reviews, and I'm sure he will do his longer term test on the scope as well. So otherwise, I look forward to your questions and your comments on the scope. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have experience with the scope. Otherwise, I always want to thank you guys for watching. Keep on squatting, and I'll see you in the next video.